Everyone wants to be unstoppable, but almost no one understands what that really means. It's not about feeling hyped all the time, or having endless energy, or waking up excited every single morning. That's not reality. It's something far more practical, more psychological, and more trainable than you think. So today, you're going to learn how to hack your brain to keep moving forward, especially when motivation is nowhere in sight, in 3 actionable steps. Step 1. Respect your brain's reward system. Let's be real for a second. You've probably had days where you just couldn't bring yourself to do something you know you should, whether it's working out, starting that project, or even cleaning your room. Motivation doesn't always show up on its own, right? Here's the secret. You don't need motivation to do the hard stuff. You just need to train your brain to want to do it. This is where dopamine anchoring comes in. Sounds fancy, but it's actually pretty simple. Your brain craves rewards. That's what dopamine is all about, pleasure and motivation. So, if you can pair something you enjoy with a task you normally hate, your brain will start to associate the hard stuff with pleasure, not pain. Here's how it works in real life. Imagine you want to get into the habit of writing, but every time you sit down at your desk, you feel resistance. The trick? Pair the task with something you already love. Maybe your favorite playlist, a cup of tea, or sitting by the window with the sunlight coming through. Over time, your brain will start to link the act of writing with those pleasurable feelings. Now, instead of feeling like you're dragging yourself through the task, you'll actually look forward to it. You'll begin anticipating the reward before the work even starts. Olympic athletes do this all the time. They don't just push through the hard stuff. They've learned how to turn pain into pleasure by linking their toughest workouts with things that spark joy, whether it's their favorite tunes, a special protein shake, or simply the feeling of progress. So becoming unstoppable doesn't start with willpower or brute force. It starts by hacking your brain's reward system. When you link hard work with pleasure, you stop resisting, and before you know it, the task becomes something you actually enjoy. Step 2. Build visual momentum. We've all been there. You start a task, and after a few days, the excitement fizzles out. You skip a day, then 2, and suddenly it feels impossible to get back on track. That's the momentum killer. But here's the truth. Momentum is the secret weapon you need to stay on track, even when motivation vanishes. The good news? You don't need a big breakthrough to build it. You just need to start with tiny wins. There's a simple trick that's helped everyone, from athletes to top creatives, and even comedians like Jerry Seinfeld, stay consistent. It's called Don't Break the Chain. Here's how it works. Get a calendar, and every day you show up, even for just 10 minutes, mark an X on that day. That's it. Simple, right? What happens next is what makes this method so powerful. That X becomes a streak, and that streak, it becomes a part of who you are. When you see a chain of X's growing, your brain starts to view skipping a day as a loss. Suddenly, the act of maintaining the chain becomes more important than the task itself. It's no longer just about doing the work. It's about protecting your momentum. Here's where the magic happens. Each time you mark an X, you're reinforcing your identity as someone who shows up. That identity begins to drive you. The more you do, the more you want to do. It's a feedback loop of progress and confidence that gets stronger with every win. That's momentum in action. Momentum doesn't come from big jumps. It comes from tiny, consistent actions. And once you start stacking those wins, they'll snowball into something unstoppable. Step 3. Create energy with a compelling vision. All right, here's the game changer. Momentum is powerful, but it won't carry you forever. At some point, you'll hit a wall, and that's where your vision comes in. Think about this. What's the real reason you want to achieve your goal? Not the surface level answer. Why does it matter to you, deep down? What's the future you're working toward that will make all this effort worth it? This is where a compelling vision, your directed motivational current, becomes your unstoppable energy source. When you have a clear picture of where you want to go, something that excites you and drives you, that's when the real magic happens. A compelling vision isn't just a goal you wish for. It's a deep, emotional pull that makes you want to move even when motivation is nowhere to be found. It's the feeling you get when you picture yourself achieving something so meaningful that the pain of working toward it fades away. Here's the trick. Create a vision so clear, so vivid, that it feels real to you right now. Imagine what it looks like. Picture the details. What will your life look like once you've achieved this? Feel the emotions. What does it feel like to get there? Olympic athletes, top performers, and successful entrepreneurs all have one thing in common. they've created a powerful internal picture of their success. This picture fuels their energy, helps them push through the toughest days, and gives them the why they need to keep going, even when they'd rather quit. Without a compelling vision, momentum will die. But with a strong vision, you won't need motivation to keep pushing forward. You'll want to move because your future self is already calling you to take action. So what's your vision? Not some vague "I want to be successful" goal, but a sharp, compelling image of the person you want to become and the emotional drive behind it. The clearer and more vivid this image is, the more unstoppable you'll become. So how do you become unstoppable? Not by waiting for motivation, but by engineering it. You don't need to be disciplined. You just need to understand your psychology better than your excuses. Because if you can move without motivation, you'll move further than most ever will.